Hello, this is Gary Oldman, and this is my career in 4 minutes.
He suffered fourth-degree burns over 80% of his body. If he survives, he'll be paralyzed from the waist down, confined to a wheelchair.
You say you can save him, but what does that mean? What kind of life will he have?
Precise, thorough. It was unlike anything I'd done before or since. Very unique, it's very particular process to Mike. Yeah, you know, I had videotapes of the Pistols. I met Sid's mum and lost a lot of weight, I think. The problem isn't losing it, the problem is keeping it off through the shoot. I'm sure that Matthew McConaughey has just been through very much the same thing, although it was a shorter, I think Dallas Buyers Club was shot in 24 days, and Sid and Nancy was 5 months. It was all pretty much there on the page. Things changed on the floor as we were kind of working it. The line that people come up to me and quote, which is "Bring me everyone," was a joke. I did one take like that, just to make Luke laugh. I went over to the soundman and I said, you know, be careful of your ears on this one, because I'm going to do this one really loud. And it was a joke, because Luke he was a funny guy, he had a great sense of humour, and he kept it in the movie. He's a villain. It's larger than life. It's, you know what, it's like Luc Besson. It's heightened reality. So that was it's almost comic book. John Gielgud said many years ago, he said, style is knowing what play you're in, and it's understanding what the piece requires. So I guess you do. I don't think I approach a villain or someone like Dr. Norton in a different way. It's just what's required of you in the piece. Oh, I loved it. I took the job before I read the script. I met Tony Scott. He said, look, I'm not really very good at, you know, sort of pitching the storyline, and he said it's a Tarantino script. He said it's a lot of fun. He said he's a guy who's white who thinks he's black, and he's a pimp. And I said, I'll do it. When I first watched it with an audience, I can only think of going back to the test audiences, because we screened it as many as 15 times for different audiences, and I would go back and recut or tweak. Initially, when you're seeing it with an audience, you're sitting at the back, getting a feel of the room. You're getting a feel of how the movie is playing and where you might lose them, or where you think that's a little long, or that could be. So you're always sort of in there, it's like you're tuning it, like a race car engine. The very first sort of premiere that we had, it was so well received that was the shocker for me. Certainly here, anyway, in the UK. Certainly, you know, to have the success it had, that was sort of most surprising. I always say to people now who want to maybe get it or watch it on DVD, I always say, well, you've got to be in the right mood, I think, otherwise it'll really sort of F up your evening. Well, of course, one becomes Sirius Black for several generations of people. I was very honoured, but I'm proud to be a part of it. There'll never be anything quite like it. So it's great to be a part of something like that. Working with Heath was a great experience, albeit very briefly. Christian's a great guy. You know, I think was a great Batman, terrific Batman. And Nolan, who is, you know, exceptional filmmaker. So it turned out all right. You know, you go from Harry Potter to The Dark Knight. You know, could have been a lot worse. I was a fan. I thought it was a great idea to remake it. It's almost technologically we sort of caught up to the first one. That it's very kind of now and current. So it made sense to me to sort of reboot it in a way. I mean, we've kept the real essence of the original.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.